All right, welcome back, everybody. Of course, yesterday the Kobe Bryant statue unveiled February 8th, 2024. Today, February 9th, they're going to give access to the typical Laker fans. But they said the statue was unveiled on 2/8/24 because, of course, Gianna Bryant wore number 2, and Kobe in his NBA career wore 8 and 24. Thus, 2/8/24. So it was a number ritual. Of course, that is part of the reason the statue was unveiled that day. But what we're also going to talk about is why the Nuggets came into town and beat the Lakers, and also what it had to do with the Pope. Because, of course, just as I talked about the day Kobe died, and just as I wrote a book about, Kobe's death had everything to do with the Pope. And now we're going to see just how perfectly synced the ritual was yet again with the Pope. And for people who can't understand why it would be synced with the Pope, well, Kobe Bryant was Catholic educated, like the majority of pro athletes are. If you're not aware of that, just take a look at the majority of pro athletes. I'm talking NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL. You just take a good look and you'll start to see that well over half of these leagues, the players went to Catholic high schools or Jesuit high schools or Catholic universities or Jesuit universities, especially at the high school level, though. Again, for people who are sleeping on it, we're on a calendar system named after the Catholic Pope. And what I've been educating about for a decade now is who runs this world, including all of its rigged sports leagues, which Kobe Bryant became a big star in. Isn't it interesting how we call celebrities stars? You know, the Catholic Church is a sun worshiping cult. The nearest sun or the nearest star is the sun. Of course, Kobe died on a Sunday while traveling from Catholic Mass, but let's go over it all, right? So notice last night, this was prior to the game being played. The Lakers came in against the Nuggets. And think about it. I mean, Kobe's playing the Nuggets. What state did Kobe have an affair in? Was it Colorado? You remember when Kobe died, how he died exactly 38 weeks after his wife's birthday, and Colorado's the 38th state, like how on the 38th day of the year, the Supreme Court said they'd take on the matter of Trump in Colorado. Again, from your federal government to your rigged sports leagues, they're doing the same rituals all over. But notice last night the Lakers came in on 113 wins versus the Nuggets, 77 losses. They picked up their 78th loss last night, like Kobe's born in 78. But, of course, they stayed on 113, too, in this game that's a tribute to Kobe. And we saw what they just did with the other 113 star. The Lakers became 23-23 against the Chicago Bulls earlier this season, 23 days before Jordan's birthday, and got their 113th win over the Bulls all time when Michael Jordan equals 113, like Kobe Bryant equals 113, like the National Basketball Association equals 113. Jordan's a good Catholic, too. Don't forget it. But anyhow, perfect ritual coming in, and for them to stay on 113 wins the day of the Kobe statue does make sense. Denver came in on 35 wins as a 3.5-point favorite on a 35 Thursday. They did pick up their 36th win. 666 is the 36th triangular number, like Kobe had his career high in his 666th game and promoted the 666 workout. But look, here's the kicker. The statue went up on 54 date numerology, okay? And not only did this statue go up February 8th, 2024, a date with 54 numerology, it went up on the 54th day of the Pope's age. Pope Francis's birthday is Saturnalia, December 17th. When Kobe died in 2020, he died on the Pope's 41st day of his age, at age 41. And now the statue goes up on Kobe Bryant's, the Pope's 54th day of his age. And notice, in Gematria, Kobe Bryant equals 41. Again, dead at 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age. My first book from 2017 about rigged sports has a big section on Kobe and 41, how his career was defined by the number 41. Again, when he scored 81, the rest of his team scored 41. In his last career game, when he scored 60, the rest of his team scored 41. And a lot more than that as well. But anyhow, Kobe's death at 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age. Now the statue goes up on the 54th day of the Pope's age. Kobe's full name, Kobe Bean Bryant, 54. Just like Jesuit order, Kobe died at 41. His daughter died at 13. What's 41 plus 13? It's 54. I should have mentioned in that same cipher that Kobe Bean Bryant, here, let's just do it real quick. Gianna Bryant also equals 54. See how Gianna Bryant with the alphabetic order is 126? What day did Kobe die? He died on January 26th, the anniversary of Bear Bryant. In case you're new here, and this is all news to you, Gematria is based on 4 ciphers, the alphabetic order forwards and backwards numerology. You notice the surname Bryant is 26 forwards, 37 in reverse, like how Kobe died on the 26th day of the year, the 37th anniversary of Bear Bryant's death. You can see that Bryant's also 82, like the 82-game season. February 8th, the day the statue went up, can be written 8/2. But just think about it. Just like we were talking about the day he died, how it was synced with the Pope, a Jesuit ritual. Here we are now, in 2024, and it's the same thing. We were talking about how Kobe died the Sunday before Super Bowl 54. We were talking about how Patrick Mahomes put that Super Bowl 54 away with the 41st pass, his 26th completion to number 26, a Sunday after Kobe died. And like Kobe dying right before the Super Bowl, Super Bowl's got that 41 as well. And it's just like Mahomes just picked up his 41st career road win in Baltimore to advance to the Super Bowl. Last year, Len Dawson dead on Kobe Bryant Day as the Super Bowl becomes the Eagles, Kobe's team, and the Chiefs last year. And again, just all the recurring scripts. Super Bowl 58, you guys, is the 54th Super Bowl of the modern era. So Super Bowl 58, the 54th of the modern era. It's the Joe Montana Bowl. Again, it's Joe Montana Bowl Part 2. It was Super Bowl 54. And now Super Bowl 58. And with regards to Kobe being connected to all this, Kobe Bryant also has the Gematria 58. 41 forwards, 58 in reverse. If you're new here, Kobe died on his 157th day of his age at age 41. We just talked about the 113 last night. If you go back to the time that he died, 44 days before his death, there was a story that Kobe Bryant helped out some people in LA with a car accident. That was 113 days from Kobe's birthday. But Kobe Bryant's got that 58. They just put up his statue on the 24th anniversary of Derek Thomas, who wore Derek Thomas's death. Pull up Derek Thomas here. Oops, I got the wrong Derek Thomas. My bad. Nope, wrong Derek Thomas. Did I spell? Oh, it's because I got a typo up here. Derek Thomas of the Chiefs. Derek Thomas of the Chiefs wore 58. He died February 8th, 2000. So the Kobe Bryant statue goes up on the 24th death anniversary of Derek Thomas. And again, Kobe finished his NBA career wearing 24. Mahomes won his first Super Bowl at age 24. Missouri's the 24th state. You might have seen viral in the news just the other day was the 24-year-old that wears yoga pants from Missouri who's running for Congress, who's burning up books. But again, Kobe dies. Mahomes wins his first Super Bowl at age 24. Last year, Len Dawson, the Chiefs great, dies on the 24th of August, 24 days before Mahomes' birthday. Now, here we are in 2024. Mahomes is trying to win his third Super Bowl 3 days after the Kobe statue goes up. He's trying to win the 24th playoff game for the state of Missouri for the Chiefs in the year 24. He's trying to replicate what Joe Montana did in Super Bowl 24. He's trying to replicate what Brady did in 2004. Ah, man. So, anyway, if you guys can't see that it's all scripted and who's running the show, then you're just blind, Physically, spiritually, cognitively. I mean, it's just blatant. It's just blatant. And again, you want to measure from Kobe's last birthday to the Super Bowl, you'll notice it's 172 days. And Kansas City Chiefs is 172. And last year we were showing you how Len Dawson died on Kobe Bryant Day, 172 days before the Super Bowl. Kobe Bryant Day is August 24th. Kobe's birthday is August 23rd. Last year the Super Bowl was on Lincoln's birthday. You had the team from Lincoln Financial Field, Kobe's favorite team, the Eagles. This year you got the Chiefs in Super Bowl 58 shortly after the death anniversary of Derek Thomas, number 58, considered one of their greatest players in franchise history. And again, Kansas City Chiefs 64. Norma Hunt died on 6/4. It's the Chiefs 64 season. The Migos put out the song Mahomes on Joe Montana's birthday, 98 days before Mahomes' birthday. On and on and on. Whole world of entertainment. You learn this code, you see what's going on. You see why the Migos are putting out Mahomes on Montana's birthday. You see why Dwight Clark, who made the catch from Montana, dies on June 4th, the anniversary of the 49ers franchise being founded. On a little fishing trip to Montana did he die. And Norma Hunt also died on 6/4 again this past summer, which is the 49ers establishment anniversary. And the 6/4 again goes with the Chiefs 64 season. And how when the Chiefs won Super Bowl 54, it was synced with Doug Williams, who was 64 years old at the time. And how Joe Montana was in his 64th year of life at the time. But anyway, this is the real reason the Kobe statue went up. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how many more times I'm going to have to show the same thing. Am I going to have to be here another decade showing the same thing? As people are still going, oh man, that's a coincidence too. That's a coincidence too. It's like, come on, man. This stuff's all a sick joke. And just for the Lakers to even be playing the Nuggets the day they put up the statue is a sick joke. All the things we talked about day one when he died. 38 weeks after the wife's birthday. Isn't her birthday May 5th? Let me check. I'm trying to Kobe Bryant wife. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now. Her name is Vanessa Bryant. That's right. I'm pretty sure her birthday is May 5th. Vanessa Bryant, date of birth. Yeah, May 5th, 82. She's 41 right now. So now she's 41 when the statue goes up. But here, let's just go back to May 5th, 2019. Would have been her last birthday before Kobe's passing. Let's not forget they put out the movie Angel Has Fallen on the day of Kobe's last birthday. But May 5th, 2019 to January 26, 2020, it was exactly 38 weeks on the nose. Colorado's the 38th state. Colorado equals 38. If you guys don't follow my news channel, I mean, I put out another nice prediction this past Tuesday. This past Tuesday, I explained why in the week ahead we should see Trump reinstated by the Supreme Court in Colorado. And that was before it was even in the news. We didn't even know the Supreme Court was going to deliberate about it. But the very next day, the 38th day of the year, it came out that the Supreme Court was going to visit that this week. And then if he is back on the ballot by this coming Tuesday is exactly 38 weeks to the election. And you see how Colorado is 83-38, 133-43? Look at election. 83-38, 133-43. Exact same in all ciphers. Perfect rituals. Perfect rituals. And that's what it all is. Just like I've been showing. From the Oval Office to the Vatican to your rigged NBA to your rigged NFL. It's all scripted. It's all Kabbalah. It's all from the Cabal. Gematria comes from Kabbalah. It says right on the first page of the Book of Formation, God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. These people are playing God through this code every single day. Again, 16th century, the Catholic Church put us on the calendar we're on and standardized the English alphabet with 26 letters. That's why if you haven't read my first book from 2017, in both my books that I've written, I've talked about Kobe Bryant. How could you not? He was a larger-than-life figure. But again, my first book, Letters and Numbers, big chapter on rig sports. That chapter begins with Jordan and Kobe in 26, just like how the book Letters and Numbers begins with why there's 26 letters in the English alphabet, why that number is so important. Number games, 9/11 to coronavirus. A lot of people said I should have titled this book different and just made it put the title about the Pope killed Kobe, because there's a huge chapter in this book. It's an 80-page chapter on Kobe Bryant's death. And it's probably true. Had I titled this book The Pope Killed Kobe, it probably would have sold way better than it did. But that wasn't the most important teaching in the book. Kobe's death and his burial in Corona del Mar in 2020, the year of the pandemic. I mean, none of that was by accident. I explained that all through the book. But sometimes people say I should just re-release the book under the new title to see what happens. I would feel that would be disingenuous. But yeah, in both books, Kobe's talked about. Letters and Numbers is written well before he died, and about him in 41 and 113. And Number Games, again, it's about his passing in light of the pandemic. So But yeah, you know, I mean, it's sad that so many people try to deny this. Like, literally, are you brain dead? For the person who denies this, are you brain dead? Like, literally, how dumb are you? Should you be re-enrolled in an elementary school in a special ed classroom? I mean, maybe you should. I feel like most of the American populace really should. Back in elementary school and in the special needs classroom. Because the way I see most Americans operating, I'm thinking, man, these people are beyond retarded. Look at them, fat as hell, looking sloppy as everything. Look at their grocery cart. Despite being just fat as hell, just looking like a damn shame, their grocery cart's full of nothing but chips and soda and microwave dinners. God, do these people have a brain? Paying all this money to go to these rigged sports games? They can't see the games are rigged? Are they brain dead? Did they just watch the AFC Championship between Baltimore and Kansas City? How many pass interferences were there in that game on Kansas City? Defensive holding and pass interference that weren't called. I mean, just from, what you could see through the TV lens, there must have been at least 50. They just couldn't get a call all game. And it's like that week after week. I mean, the Lakers... The Lakers' free throw discrepancy in conference finals back-to-back years with the Blazers in Sacramento. They shouldn't have been in either of those finals in the same way Brady should have never been in a Super Bowl. Michael Jordan, you couldn't even breathe on him. Pro sports have been a joke for all of our lifetimes. It just gets worse as time goes on. It's not to say that Kobe and Michael aren't talented athletes. It's to say that they benefited from playing in scripted leagues where they were made the star. David Stern said it in 1984 when the same year Jordan came in the league. He said, the NBA is not about basketball. It's about making stars. And for the record, the word star is 58. Even the plural stars is 58 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. Kobe Bryant, 58, right? Dead on a Sunday, named after the nearest star, the sun. And, in light of the calendar being named after the Pope and the Catholic Church being a sun cult, isn't it interesting how Pope Francis is 58 in the same cipher and how Kobe's death is synced with him? So to make another point, if you watched my stream yesterday on Gematria Effect Sports, put out a short video. It was about the upcoming Super Bowl. And to join us, again, we will be doing our super stream on the Super Bowl tomorrow, Saturday, but I'll also be live streaming the Super Bowl, which has become the annual tradition. So if you want to be a part of that, join the Patreon. And for the record, the best deal I have going on the Patreon right now, you won't get the information for the game beforehand, but if you want to be part of the live stream the day of the Super Bowl, and you want to get both of my ebooks for $1, get all of it for $1, just join the dollar tier on my Patreon. The link's in the description. You get both ebooks for $1. Which is a lot because one book's 800 pages, the other's about 400. And you also get to be part of the Super Bowl live stream. But anyway, like I talked about at the end of that stream, I said, these games weren't played yet yesterday. I was kind of giving out a free tip for people who want to look into it. I said, college basketball in 18-5 records has really been smashing this week. And Arizona was a little bit of a favorite against Utah. They became 18-5, and Florida Atlantic was a good favorite against UAB, but they got upset and fell to 18-5. So threw out a free tip for the people who were paying attention yesterday. And why does it matter that teams are becoming 18-5? It's not like we haven't been talking about this pattern for years, but you see how basketball has this gematria of 185? You see how basketball's 185 and 68? Actually, let's look at all the ciphers real quick. Basketball equals 85, right? The first March Madness was in the year 85, and who won that March Madness? The Catholic school Villanova beat the Jesuit school Georgetown. And for the record, the Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, has that 85 in it. Catholic school beat the Jesuit school. If you're not familiar with the Jesuit logo, just look it up. It's the sun with the letters IHS, the Templar cross, and the 3 nails for triclavianism. But the word Templar is also 85. Christ is 85. Crucify is 85. You might notice the 41 as well, in light of what they did to Kobe on the 41st day of the Pope's age. You could say Kobe died 40 days after the Pope's birthday or on the 41st day of the Pope's age. So notice how both those numbers go with crucify. and it happened to him on a Sunday. But anyway, basketball's got the 85. Of course, it has the 22. You know, Boston was always the legacy city for basketball. Boston was just in their 22nd championship in the year 2022, and they fell to 17-5 in championships against Golden State, which is 175, in a ritual perfectly synced with the Pope. Pope Francis 175. Just go back and look at what happened in the Golden State-Boston game the day of Pope Francis' birthday before the year of that finals, and you'll see how perfect it all was. That was the 75th anniversary season, and the Warriors became 7-5 in finals and picked up their 75th road win in the playoffs in Boston, winning that championship. As earlier in the year on the Pope's birthday, Boston fell to 7-5 at home, losing to the Warriors. And keep in mind, you know, they're playing in San Francisco, which is named after St. Francis of Assisi, just like Pope Francis is. But again, just coming back to the basketball thing, 85, first March Madness, big Catholic ritual, and every year it is. 22, just big basketball number, period. The plural Jesuits is also 22. Basketball, 185 and 68 when you run it in reverse and with numerology. Look at Catholicism, 185, 68. Look at mathematics, 185, 68. So we've been pointing these things out for years. I just want to walk you through the last week. Look, I want to walk you through the last week of basketball with 18-5. You see how Kansas State upset Kansas, dropping them to 18-5? We spotted that this was a definite possibility well before the game was played. We said, oh, and then when it happened with Kansas, then we felt extra good about it the next day with UNC Clemson, because let's look what happened the next day. So, again, Kansas was ranked 3 and UNC was ranked 4 at the time, or vice versa. Maybe UNC was 3 and Kansas was 4. But notice the very next day that North Carolina got upset by Clemson, falling to 18-5. You see how Clemson became 15-7? This was the other thing we liked about this game. I'm going to go back to Kobe Bryant real quick. Again, Kobe Bryant equals 157. Died on the 157th day of being 41 years old. 157 is also the 37th prime number, right? And again, Bryant alone equals 26 and 37. Notice how Jordan's also 26 and 37, right? Kobe died on the 37th anniversary of Bear Bryant. And Kobe was drafted through the Carolinas like Jordan played at UNC. You see how Carolina has that 37 as well? So that was the other thing we liked about this, that if Clemson won in the Battle of the Carolinas, they'd become 15-7, like 157. The 37th prime is North Carolina would fall to 18-5. So that happened, and let's look at some of the other games that day. Baylor won, giving them a chance to get to 18-5, right? Iowa State won that day, giving them a chance to get to 18-5. Ole Miss lost to South Carolina, falling to 18-5. They were a considerable dog, but just the 18-5 pattern persisted. And hold on, let's go through. Nevada upset Utah State that day, became 18-5. That was a nice payout. San Diego State was also a considerable favorite. They became 18-5. So the only school that could have become 18-5 that did not that day was New Mexico. And again, there's usually no perfect patterns. So, some days there are, but they're rare. But there's winning patterns. And you can follow trends. So 18-5, big trend, right? Big trend that we followed all week in basketball. Tennessee won to get to 17-5, so they're on the path to 18-5. Duke won to get to 17-5, so they're on the path to 18-5. We knew in this game was on 8-date numerology, and both teams stayed on 8 wins in the SEC. So Auburn didn't do the 18-5 thing, but we knew they were like, it's the 8-date numerology, that 8 could play hard. So also just understanding the numbers, you can see like where maybe the pattern's going to fail. But yeah, so, and then yesterday you had 2 games where 18-5 could play in both, and one was a nice dog, and sure enough, it played too, with Florida Atlantic falling to 18-5. But yeah, again, the reason all this is so is because the Catholic Church has synced up the language with the calendar, with mathematics. And just some other interesting 68s. You see how solar system is 68? Again, the solar system, based on the sun. Again, in the 16th century, the heliocentric model agreed to. English standardized with 26-letter alphabet, Gregorian calendar implemented, and all those things happened at the end of the 16th century after the Jesuits came into power at the start of the 16th century. So decades later, this whole system's put into place. But the other name for the sun is Helios, which is also 68 as well. So, again, the numbers aren't arbitrary. They have meaning. And I didn't even mention about all the 58 stuff earlier. Calendar's 58, Gregorian's 58, Zodiac's 58. Again, Star is 58, Stars is 58. Kobe Bryant, a big star, 58, who played for the Los Angeles Lakers in the city with, stars literally on the sidewalks. Lakers 58. Now this ritual with Kobe on the anniversary of Derek Thomas's death, who wore 58 right before the Chiefs were in Super Bowl 58. So, yeah. Those are all the main points. And, I'd like to think that somewhere Kobe and Gianna are still living. But, if not, R.I.P. If you've never seen Kobe's short film with Nike for the Black Mamba, starring Bruce Willis, Kanye West, Robert Rodriguez directs it. I can't think of the one guy's name that's in a lot of movies too. Hispanic guy with the acne scars. He's in Desperado and a whole bunch of things. He's in that too, but Kobe's last line in that is "Legends never die." And the film ends with an exploding helicopter, just like the Comedy Central skit. That came out right after Kobe put out the Nike shoe, Kobe Bryant After Death. If you didn't know that, look it up. Kobe has an After Death shoe. And then Kobe died the year the Lakers signed AD, Anthony Davis. And again, Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins, Philly stars, both died right before Kobe's last season. In the case of Moses Malone, who was drafted by Utah, who Kobe finished his career against, Moses Malone died 213 days before Kobe's last game. Of course, LA's the 2-1-3, like they won the Super Bowl on 2-1-3 with the Rams the other year. And the Joe Burrow, Billy Cannon Bowl. But, yeah, again, if you haven't seen all my work on Kobe Bryant and Moses Malone and, why Moses Malone did the ad from the Bible for Nike where he's Moses with the staff that gets turned into the snake in Exodus 4 to be more specific. Exodus equals 74, like Kobe died in the 74th NBA season. Kobe died 4 years after Moses Malone, and he fell to fourth in points scored the day before his death because LeBron passed him in his hometown Philly on the court with snakes on it. Again, the Bibles as we know it is all because of the Catholic Church too. So there's so many layers of proof that it's the Catholic Church doing this, and there's so many layers of cognitive dissonance you got to have to deny it all. I mean, it's pathetic, really. And let's not forget, Moses Malone won the championship for Philly when Kobe was 4 years old. Because it's all just been one big script the whole time. And if you don't know, 4 is associated with death. 4 is the number of death to the occult. LA. Here, look at the gematria LA. LA equals 13 and 41, right? Like Kobe dead at 41, Gianna at 13. LA equals 4. 14 is also an interesting number that's also related to death. If you look into it, 14 is also related to death in the occult, and dead equals 14. But, here, for one more, I talked about the significance of the statue going up on the 54th day of the Pope's age on 54-8 numerology. It was also the 89th day of the Superior General's age. That's the leader of the Jesuits. And that's a big number in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, California is 89. So 54th day of the Pope's age, 89th day of the Superior General's age. 89 is the 24th prime. We'll be talking about what happened in the NFL in 1989. The 2 seasons connected through the year 89. What's that got to do with this year's Super Bowl? I'll tell you what, it has a whole lot to do with it. So you're going to want to join us for that Saturday Super Bowl super stream. And yeah, that's going to start tomorrow, Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern. If you can't watch it live, you can watch it anytime after. It should last hours. And again, you sign up for the Patreon. You can sign up for a recurring monthly membership. But if you do sign up for this weekend's Super Bowl information, just realize that subscription gets you a whole month. So, and we're streaming everyday sports. We're on 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern every day, Monday through Friday, and then special streams sometimes for the weekends, like what we've been doing for the football playoffs. There ends up being another biggest sports event on the weekend, like when the playoffs come around. But yeah, nonstop coverage of NBA, MLB, NFL. We talk college, talk some NHL. But yeah, it is a good value. And again, even if you're not a gambler, you can learn just how rigged the games are, and you can learn how to see through them. And you can learn, like, why my guy number 9 from my hometown Portland Trail Blazers dropping in the first bucket last night. I got to admit, we had like our worst day of the NBA season yesterday and Thursday. They pulled out the rug from us on a lot of these games, but nice player prop that we had. We knew number 9 for the Blazers was almost an absolute lock to score the first bucket of the game, and you get nice odds on things like that. We've been doing well with our player props. That's something I'm trying to do right now, is learn more about player props in the NBA. They're not too hard in the NFL, but we're figuring out how they do it in the NBA too. And the reason number 9 was such a lock yesterday is because he was the 39th pick of the draft. It was the 39th day of the year. He was the 9th pick of the second round, and then a few other things as well. But Blazers stayed on 9 home wins. And yeah, on the 9-date numerology, 9 was a big number yesterday in the NBA. So Jazz stayed on 9 road wins. Bulls did not, though. Bulls did not. Bulls broke the pattern there, so. Anyway. We'll leave it there for now, you guys. And again, thank you to everyone who does support the work. Thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. And shout out to Slick Nick. Slick Nick definitely capitalized on the first basket by number 9 for the Blazers. So, congrats to you, Slick Nick. Appreciate the tip. And I'll see the rest of you guys in the stream a little bit later on the Patreon. I might actually do one more stream before then on GematriaEffectNews, because I got to talk more about what they did with Biden and Trump yesterday. Again, just another prediction landed. Well, we land a lot of predictions because of sports, but just another prediction landed very clearly with just the rigged selection, the upcoming November 5th, 2024 election. Go back and see what I said Tuesday, and then just watch what unfolded the very next day and what's leading up to exactly what I said this coming Tuesday. So we're not psychics. We just know how the game is rigged over here. And for all of you guys who don't want to know how the game is rigged, as far as I'm concerned, you're the brain-dead, useful idiots that the slave school system wanted to raise, because that's what they need to keep the tyranny rolling. They need just a really dumb populace that has like literally no common sense, that will go and make themselves sick with food addictions to poison, so then Big Pharma can rack in the dollars taking care of all the diabetes and obesity and high blood pressure and all the crap people have because they just can't control themselves. And then, just steal back all the wealth from you that you make from your little measly paychecks by wasting it on pay-per-view rigged fights and rigged sports games and $20 hot dogs and beers. Again, I mean, smart people don't do these things. Smart people don't waste their money on rigged sports and poisonous food and beverage. But a society of morons does. You want to know why I've seen through things from a young age? Because I've taken care of myself from a young age. Because I respected myself from a young age. Because I looked at all the people around me, which are a bunch of alcoholics and losers, and I said, I'm not going to be like these people. I've been eating well since I was a teenager. My friends used to make fun of the way I ate. They're just slurping down Dr. Peppers and eating Taco Bell and shit. And I was like, I don't think so. That's not going in my mouth. The reason most people are brain dead is because they got poison in their body. When you put poison in your body, your mind doesn't operate right. All right, True Seeker, we'll leave it there. Till next time.